Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay. All right.
It's Titania Jordan.
Wow. Today, I am here with Allan Williamson,
Hi.
head engineer at athomecrypto. And I just want to say to begin with, like you see, this is not our normal setup. We've got some amazing, expensive equipment here. I was telling Allan off camera how this episode today is kind of like how I felt when they first came out with the iPod. I was like, hold up, like no more CDs, no more tapes, like everything's in this little thing. So at that moment, I had to either get with the program or turn into a grandma. And I refused to turn into a grandma, and I want to learn everything about what this equipment can do, what it means, and so that's why Allan is here. So Allan, tell us what we are looking at right now.
Okay, thank you for having me, Titania. What we have here in front of us is 3 different solutions. This system right here is a Bitmain Antminer S7, the most cost-effective Bitcoin miner on the market. This is, it can run at somebody's basement. It's extremely loud and extremely hot, though. This is like running a dryer 24/7 and pulling that kind of electricity. It pulls about 1,500 watts of electricity. You could, if we turn this on, you would hear it on another floor.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, this is extremely loud and hot, and so it runs about 85 decibels. And then the one near you, this is a very unique solution from a company called Canaan. They are very new to the market. That solution works with the Raspberry Pi that's on top of that as its controller, and there's only no more than 100 or so of those in the United States right now. I had to work with the manufacturers to get that here, but it's 3 times more powerful than this. So it'll mine 3 times more Bitcoin than this system. And of course, it's relative to the cost also. This solution right here is unique. This is a Ethereum GPU mining rig. Of course, these are manufactured in China. This solution is built by athomecrypto and our engineers. This one specifically was built by me for as kind of a Tesla product or something, just a proof of concept that I had, where it not only mines Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency and virtual machine. We can get into the differences of Ethereum versus Bitcoin.
We will.
Yes. Ethereum is kind of, I'm very much an evangelist of it. I believe in the technology. I believe in what it does. It's more than just a cryptocurrency or a store of value. But this solution that I've created here, not only does it mine Ethereum, but it has lasers and rainbows and colors on top and on the sides and on the bottom, where it adjusts to the atmosphere and our discussions and what's happening around in the room. As it finds shares while it's mining, it'll start turning green. As it gets hot, it starts turning red. See how it's all moving everywhere and the colors are changing? So this is really a unique situation or solution as far as Ethereum and GPU miners. Most of them are very static and would look just more like what you see here with this single card, and but then you have all of them connected down here. So this again is an Ethereum or altcoin miners. We could mine about 200 to 300 different coins with this. I prefer Ethereum.
So you called it an altcoin miner / Ethereum.
Correct.
And the difference, the distinction is the front 2 are Bitcoin miners.
Yes.
And this is an altcoin / Ethereum miner.
Correct. Anything that's not Bitcoin is kind of just in colloquialism, and the words we use is called an altcoin.
Cool. And then describe the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh, great question. I love doing this. Okay, so think of Bitcoin as a store of value, like $1 or a piece of gold. It's just used for transactions. You and I both agree that a gram of gold that I have in my pocket is $130. We agree on that. That's basically what Bitcoin is. Okay. It's a store of value. Ethereum is a virtual machine. It's a coding language. It's actions that occur on the blockchain. You can manipulate and put data into it. Applications one day are going to run on the Ethereum blockchain. Right now you can walk into Home Depot and buy a light bulb that is Bluetooth enabled or on Wi-Fi. One day you're going to buy that same light bulb that's on the Ethereum blockchain. It'll say ERC20 blockchain enabled, and that's referring to like the light bulb. That's because you're keeping that blockchain stable, and there's so much work going on because of the programming language and applications that are occurring. You might have heard of ICOs. Yes, these are huge right now, and so ICOs are part of the Ethereum blockchain, but side chains of that. So if you keep the top chain stable, which your light bulbs are going to be doing, it keeps that block there. It allows actions on the side for those ICOs and these newer companies to be working on the Ethereum blockchain, but in their own cryptocurrencies off of that chain.
So we have all kinds of viewers. We have viewers that have followed every single word of what you said and are waiting for your next word. We also have viewers that are like, Tanya, what the heck is blockchain? Like, girlfriend, you have lost me. So for those viewers, let's explain what blockchain is and why you'd want your light bulb attached to it in the first place.
That's a great question. Blockchain is a decentralized way. Let me try to think of the most everybody can understand this.
Yeah, like we're
think
talking
of it as a
fifth graders right now, like fifth grade.
Think of it as a train.
Okay.
You've got trains going from California to Atlanta. As they get to each state, they get filled and a new cart's added. Think of blockchain that way, that we're filling in the data from what these miners are doing, or like the programming data these are doing onto the train, and each cart is being filled with data or actual physical, on the train itself. As the train gets overloaded and each cart is packed full, a new block, or in this case, a train cart, is added to allow for new information or products and activities to occur. And so as it's going from California all the way to here to Atlanta, it keeps adding, getting larger and larger and larger while it's going through that, and you keep adding more and more data. What makes blockchain so powerful is as these miners, they confirm what is happening on that blockchain, what the data is being filled with. So that's, the decentralization allows it to stay secure so that your train can't be robbed or hacked by criminals or hackers. That everybody's watching this single block, or as they keep getting filled, they can never be changed. So
there's full transparency onto what's in each train car.
Correct. That's a good way to think of it. Yes, ma'am.
And it can't be robbed because there's so many eyes on it. There's multiple validation points of observation.
Correct.
So it's not just one sleepy security guard like, it's fine. Like, everybody's looking at it all the time.
Correct, yes.
Cool.
And the term in blockchain we use, you said validation, we call it confirmations.
Okay.
It's the same, it's synonymous though, but if you hear that term confirmations, we're confirming what's gone in there.
So that it makes it secure and powerful.
Yes.
Now explain the whole why would a light bulb be plugged into blockchain versus Wi-Fi?
No, it'll be plugged into both.
Okay.
It'll have both Wi-Fi, because the blockchain is going to be part of the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So or part of that, but it'll be a very centralized, very small part of the block. For Ethereum, each block is 3 megabytes. So by you holding a little bit of Ethereum that's never going to change, you can't manipulate that light bulb. The person won't be able to, but it's still communicating on the blockchain and keeping that stable, so that the whole blockchain never can be changed at that level.
So, my initial question was, what is the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum? To summarize it, Bitcoin is a fixed value, right?
It changes daily.
Okay.
In December, Bitcoin was $20,000.
Yeah.
Today, it's $11,000.
So what was the term you used to refer to it as? It was a fixed something. It was
Store value is how I call it. Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. And then Ethereum is unlimited.
It's amazing. Ethereum is a game-changing technology, like the internet is. That you're going to have what are known as decentralized applications. When you hear about ICOs, that's what usually those are. Different applications that can run on people's phones, and it's all actually part of the Ethereum blockchain, known as sidechains. Again, I know I'm getting really technical, but
no, it's great. I will.
Virtual machine.
I will say, wait, explain it. So don't worry. You just keep going.
But the way to think of Ethereum is not just a cryptocurrency. It's a virtual machine with activities and actions and honesty between it all. And again, this is Ethereum is the future in my opinion. There's going to be other forms of it, but you can already see with what ICOs are doing, such as here in Atlanta, we're really lucky. We have some very Atlanta Tech Village, some companies that are doing things such as Storj, STORJ,
Yes.
and Patient Toy are doing some amazing things on the Ethereum blockchain. So they're their own currencies using the Ethereum coding language called Solidity, but they're side chains. And they're amazing, both amazing companies that are on the Ethereum blockchain.
This is fascinating. So we've got to give people context here, but which of these machines did you make? This one, right?
This one, yes, ma'am.
So you can buy these two. You did not make these two.
Correct, yes.
But you make this one, which is like
Correct.
the Tesla of mining
Yes, ma'am.
machines, right?
Yes, of altcoin machines, yes. But one clarification, I didn't make these, but I can configure and make them secure. Being in my background is 15 years in cybersecurity and cyber intelligence. So if you were to buy these offline or online, you're going to get a standard system. When people buy it from me, I've gone in and adjusted these so that somebody can't come in and change them themselves, change their wallet, or steal their cryptocurrencies from there. That's really what makes At Home Crypto and my solutions very unique to most of them in the world.
Wow. How do people reach you? What is your website?
athomecrypto.com. Most people actually find us on our YouTube page.
Oh,
We're
great.
now monetized on YouTube. It's youtube.com/athomecrypto.
Awesome.
We do tutorials and do the latest and greatest. I do almost every other day. I do a video showing people and explaining the trends and the technologies that we're coming to, because I do use the latest and greatest of technologies.
I'm so glad you do that, because as much editing we do and as many direct questions as I ask, there's no way we can wrap what all of this means into one Connect episode. So like, we're scratching the surface. We're hopefully wowing you with just what all this means. But you're going to have to go to Allan's YouTube channel and his website and really dive into his knowledge, because it's very deep. And the breadth is just expansive. I'm still wrapping my brain around, like, while I have you here, like, what questions can I ask? Because it's just a very unique opportunity to even be in the presence of these machines. You know, that one you said it was around $3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
And then how much would this setup be?
That's $7,500.
Okay. And then what about the Mac Daddy Tesla?
This is $20,000.
$20,000, okay.
Yes.
And as an educated female in technology, but no clue what to do with this, busy mom, etc., what would make me spend $20,000 on this? Would you recommend that, or leave it to people who are really well versed in what this can do?
This is made for flamboyant millionaires. This is made for ludicrous. This is, or Allan Williamson. Where I want to have something that's at the party and then I can show off. It's like a Lamborghini. You don't just have
Right.
it. You have to show off.
I love that. This is for flamboyant millionaires. We'll run some Google ads targeting those people. That's great. Okay, so if you are a flamboyant millionaire and you can just drop 20 grand on this machine, what will this do for you?
It would entertain a crowd, and plus it also makes about 1.5 Ethereum a month, which equals today about $1,700. By the end of the year, I feel one Ethereum is going to be about $5,000 to $10,000, so it pays for itself in 4 months at that price. But it's, for a mother or a normal family person, I would really recommend one of the smaller systems that we can do for the cheapest that's going to be worthwhile, because the energy that it pulls would have to be about $7,000, and that would make you about one Ethereum at today, one Ethereum's difficulty price.
Wow.
That starts at about $7,000. It would not be all flashy like this, but I try to work with people to help understand their goals and what they want. But if people are wanting to spend less, such as like $3,000, then then I would recommend the Bitcoin, or I would look at my videos to build one yourself. Because it wouldn't be worth it my time to build one for somebody for $3,000.
Where do people start? I mean, there are people who don't do the stock market because that alone is just beyond what they have time to study and feel like they can trust, right?
Yes.
That's why they have brokers or advisors. So there's a large DIY generation out there that is tech savvy and wants to feel comfortable with the opportunity this holds. but they don't know where to start. Where do you suggest they start?
100%. My videos are made for people like that.
Awesome.
They're made, like, you'll see my 7-year-old is in the videos.
Oh, good.
So I've made it you'll see that my kids build these with
Oh my
me.
gosh, my
So
9-year-old would eat this up.
Oh, your 9-year-old absolutely could build a system similar to this. If they follow my videos, starting from the beginning where I've made it from 7-year-old to 97-year-olds, where I say, this is the motherboard and what it does. And then I explain why we went with that motherboard. They could do, a 9-year-old's gonna have enough knowledge after that they'll say, oh, I want this motherboard. They can do their own research, but then they could, from there they would know the memory. If you just followed my videos at Home Crypto, absolutely, people all over the world do it, and you'll see the comments and the questions. I answer people's questions all the time. Plus on our Twitter at Home Crypto, I answer people's questions all the time because I do want to see people that are do-it-yourself. I want to see children. I want to see grandmothers get into this. And
Yes.
It's difficult to build systems like this and to build them secure like I do, but it's not difficult to build a system that can mine some kind of coin that they believe in.
It's crazy. It's very easy to make something complicated, and by something I mean a concept, a product, a service. It's very hard to make it simple.
Yes.
And I think where you will win with this is to simplify it so that people can understand, why do I need this? What can it do for me? And what does this look like for my future?
Yes.
And it sounds like your YouTube videos are a great place to start with that.
They are.
And we will link, sorry to interrupt, we will
Okay.
link to that content in the description below, Twitter account, YouTube account, your website, because people are going to have questions.
I hope so. Yeah. Shoot us an email, sales at athomecrypto or athomecrypto@gmail.com, either one.
Okay.
And let us know what y'all would like to see. I
Yeah.
would love to hear from the audience. Say, we want to hear more about, what you have near you is a ledger wallet, a hardware wallet. We want to know about the latest coin. What should I mine? If I don't have even $3,000, how do I get on and start? I've got $35. What can I do with that today?
Exactly. That is so helpful. And what does that mean? Is so it's a long-term play, I would imagine, or is it if you're trying to make a quick buck? Like, what does that mean?
If you don't believe in the technology, it is a short-term play, and people are just saying, oh, Bitcoin's 11,000, I'm gonna buy it today because they know it's gonna be 20 grand. But they don't believe in the technology. So for people like me, I really believe, especially in the Ethereum technology, I'm holding all of the tokens that I've made over the years. So for me, it's a long-term hold. I don't really sell I mine 12 different coins, and I don't ever sell those. So for me, it's a long-term hold, but it's because I believe in the technology. For people that don't believe in the technology, they
Or
usually
just not comfortable with it yet. Yeah.
Exactly, or not comfortable with it, then they do day trading is the most common. And you
Yeah.
have Bitfinex and Bittrex. There's places they can buy and sell coins. Coinbase, of course, is the most common.
Right. Coinbase, Bittrex. That just snippet alone led to like 7 different questions. The inside of my brain right now looks like the colors on this Tesla. I don't even know where to start. Like, this is fascinating to me. So 2 questions right off the bat. One is, at what point will you say it's time to unload some of these coins? It's time to realize the profit. What would be an indicator to you that it would be time to do that?
I have some certain goals.
Okay.
One of them, just a personal goal, is I want to trade a Bitcoin for a Corvette one day. So
Yes, I like that goal. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
We have
Again,
kids.
Yeah.
My wife won't let me have a Corvette, so that's just a goal
Why?
of myself. We have kids.
No, I know. Yeah, joke.
Oh, yeah.
The car seat doesn't quite,
Exactly, the car seat.
I get it.
And that's one of my goals. When somebody comes to me and says, I'll give you a Corvette for 1 Bitcoin, that's a given, then I'll do that. But my Ethereum, I have about a 6-year plan for these. Ethereum is unique that we're eventually going to be rewarded not just for mining it, but we're going to be rewarded in Ethereum for holding it. That's called a proof of stake, and it's extremely technical what I'm about to go into, but it's going to move from what it's doing now, which is the mining and confirming transactions, filling those cards up where we confirm. Eventually, because again, those ICOs, we need to keep that chain stable. Again, the light bulb that is keeping that chain stable, you're going to be rewarded for keeping that chain stable more than you're rewarded for mining it.
Wow.
So I have a 5 or 6 year, and by that time, I believe Ethereum's going to be about $100,000. And then I've got so many, I'll just retire or pay for my boys' school.
That sounds awesome. It's so cool what you can do with technology.
Amen.
And it's just every day. On that note, because I don't believe this sort of technology has the safety precautions, it's not backed by the FDIC, right?
Correct.
So there's a big security concern. And you, thankfully, make this secure.
As much as possible.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. With that caveat, nothing in tech is 100%. Anything, we saw what happened with Equifax.
Yes.
But how do you make it secure as much as you can?
The number one thing I do is that I install the latest and greatest patches, as well as I put very unique passwords on each of these. Nothing ever has a default password. And I work with the customers where I install these at to give them a unique password. I don't see their passwords. Plus, I don't see their wallets. I set them up. Every solution you buy from me comes with a ledger wallet, the hardware wallet you see there. And I set them up with that, but I never see their passwords. Those wallets, a ledger wallet, is the most secure way to keep them.
Wow.
A lot of people will unfortunately keep their coins on their phone, like an application.
Oh.
And those are absolutely the most hackable. This keeps all of your currency offline. You don't need to ever really plug it in or do anything. You can just have one of those and plug it in with a USB. It's got an LED, and that holds any cryptocurrency on the market right now.
So it's like an external hard drive?
So that's a good way to think of it.
Okay.
Yes, it does way more than that, but
Yeah.
it will hold any Bitcoin, Ethereum all together at one time for you, so you don't have to have 14 different apps, one for each currency that you hold.
Wow. Wow.
Again,
All right.
these are the most secure way. If you're in the market or looking to get into cryptocurrencies, get one of these. And unless you're planning to just sell every single day, then don't get that. That's a waste of your money. This is for long-term holding.
How much does this particular unit?
They're sold out. If you look online, they're $250, but I
Okay.
give them with my solutions because I bought so many in bulk back when they were $80. Yes.
Smart guy here, to say the least. All right, we have talked about a lot. Some of it, again, certain people watching are like, yeah, I get it, keep going, I want more. And other people are like, what's going on right now?
Yes.
Like, what did I eat mushrooms? Like, what's going on? So let's back up and quickly recap what we're looking at,
Okay.
who you are, what you do, and why the everyday regular person who doesn't get all of this should care.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, again, I'm Allan Williamson. I am been in technology for over 20 years, started the world's largest web hosting company many years ago, and then been in cybersecurity for 15 years. And then cybersecurity actually led me into the cryptocurrency market. Being in cyber intelligence in the security market, I saw people being hacked and malware being used as ransomware. And so people needed Bitcoin. And I understood, okay, people need Bitcoin. I'm not going to scam them and sell them over it, but they need to be able to have it to get their data back. So we started mining in order to help hospitals and help people get their data back when they were ransomware by Bitcoin.
Wow.
And so that's really how we got into this, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. In front of me is your standard Antminer S7 made by Bitmain. Bitmain is the largest manufacturer of ASICs, application-specific integrated circuit machines. These are extremely loud and extremely hot, but they are affordable relatively for a person that wanted to get into the Bitcoin mining. Over near you is the Avalon made by Canaan. This is a very unique solution. It's 3 times faster and quieter than the Antminer solution. And that actually runs on a Raspberry Pi solution. Again, so these are Bitcoin miners, ASICs is what we call them. This solution between us is the Ethereum altcoin GPU miner. This can mine up to about 200, eventually 3,000 different coins. We customize them to what our customers want. This is my Tesla Lamborghini model that's made for, as I said earlier, flamboyant millionaires. This solution talks, it changes, the rainbows, the colors, the lasers on it, and underneath, even if you see the motherboard is doing things, this adjusts based on the environment plus what the mining is doing at the time. This solution is not for everybody. Again, it's for your extremely rich people, but your average household or people that wanted to get into this kind of solution, a GPU miner, this is a 6-card system that usually starts about $7,500 from us, and you could build them yourself for relatively about $3,500, and if you wanted to watch my videos to understand how to build them. But again, the big thing that makes our solutions unique is the security that we give with these, and we talk to our customers to understand what their goals are, and we want to help them meet their goals by the solutions we offer.
Wow. You did that very nicely.
Thank you.
I'm getting a flashback to when the internet first went mainstream, right?
Yes.
So there were a lot of people that are like, I don't understand. Like, I can just type www dot and like go to a place, like, but it's not a real place. It's online. So let's try to help people watching that don't quite get what the heck we're talking about. What sort of frontier this is, right? Like, let's liken it to the what is the internet question. So what is the Ethereum? What is the cryptocurrency? What is the word we're trying to define what it is right now?
What is a decentralized way to help the entire world get better? Right now, that's the way I think
That.
of it.
Alan, what is a decentralized way to help the world get better?
Thank you for asking. The best way, and again, I don't want to sound, non-altruistic or altruistic in the sense where, we're becoming a world where we're all actually together. And there's third world countries, Venezuela is a good example, where people, their form of a dollar is worth nothing now. These people are using Bitcoin miners and learning to build Ethereum miners because they can use these to get more food. In Venezuela, they can buy food with Bitcoin or Ethereum much more than they could buy with their Venezuelan dollar.
Now you just made it real.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'd love to talk a little bit more about that,
Please.
about how people can't get scammed.
Please.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So while I'm talking about that, and again, I don't want to sound too altruistic, but truly it's up to us and all of us to make the world a better place. And I believe the cryptocurrency and digital currency market can do that by working together and stopping scams. There's a lot of scams that are happening, such as the ICO markets, where people in Venezuela or third world countries are wanting to get into this, and they see us and see other countries that are doing better buying and investing in ICOs or coins that are not relevant. So we need to do our own research as we are going to start investing. Don't just throw your money into centralized coins. This is extremely important to point out. Okay? An example would be Ripple or RXP. People are throwing money at this company. It is a pure scam started by the same people that did the Bitcoin. It's called Mt. Gox, the largest Bitcoin heist in history. It's a centralized coin. When I say centralized, remember earlier we were talking about the carts, the train.
Yeah.
Okay? Imagine that instead of the train, as we filled it up, each cart would pop up, and we need to fill that new one. Okay? A centralized, it means that the train is already open. You've got every cart from California to Atlanta, and people are just filling it all up. There's nothing new there. There's no transaction confirmations. Anybody can throw whatever junk they want into these carts, and nobody disagrees. Those are called centralized coins controlled by one large entity. And Ripple is a perfect example of that, where it was started by the same people that allowed past hacks to occur. And what I'm getting at this is that Venezuelans, Cubans, people all over the world, Haitians are a good example, are buying into this because they see us spending $3, not me, but they see people in America spending $3, and to them, they understand that's not much to us, but $3 could pay for their kids. It could pay for their kids' lunch. It could pay for multiple meals for their family. So when we buy into these scam coins, like somebody told me recently when I told him it was a scam, he said, it's a scam I'm going to make money from. And I hope we all don't have that idea, that you're helping others to get rich while fooling people that are not as fortunate as us to be scammed, and they're going to lose much more money. $3 isn't a lot to you, but it is a ton to these third world countries that are building and trying to pick up, which they can do with their cryptocurrency solutions, and make their children and the world a better place. But it's up to us that has this money and that is actually investing. If you know what you're doing out there and are investing in these kind of coins, another example would be Reputable, or Productidium is the name of it. It just recently was an ICO, took millions of dollars. Everybody's throwing money at these ICOs because they sound great. This was a blockchain that allowed you to follow your fruit. Thank you. That alone sounds like a joke.
Right?
People are investing in things like that because it's an ICO. Y'all do your own research. She spoke earlier about the FDIC is not currently regulating that. That's not my place to say whether they should or should not. It's up to you as an investor and you to invest in things that you've actually researched, not just because it has an ICO or has some cute XRP initial next to it or an acronym that sounds cute, and you saw people in Japan, banks that are using this, which they actually are not if you did the research. These are scams, again, by the Japanese banks, going back to Ripple. But do your own research. You could also, again, going back, I try to give hints on our YouTube page of what not to do. I could get in a lot of trouble by specifically, Ripple I don't even care anymore. I'm tired of seeing people scam into them.
Good.
So exactly, they can sue me if they wanted. I would fight them all day long, but there's other places out there that I have to kind of be a little careful how I say it, because
Right.
they will come after me. But I want to see people do their own investing, because when you invest, there's people around the world that see that investment, and the coin market cap's going up, and they, I don't mean to say foolishly, but they follow you and think that you know what you're doing.
Well, and I think you can't sue an individual for asking a company to be more transparent. If you think something is off, and you present that to a company, it's on them to come back to you with, here's why we aren't, and if they don't, that alone speaks volumes.
Hey, that is very true.
So,
Yes.
do you also cover how to kind of protect yourself from schemes on your YouTube channel? I know you have to dance delicately around that, but
I do. And
Okay.
usually I'll do once a week, especially the latest one you'll love is the frequently asked questions.
yes.
Yes, and that's where I explain the most common scams to look for,
Mhm.
as well as what are trusted exchanges. When we say
Great.
exchanges, that's where people go to buy and sell their cryptocurrencies. There's currently 3,000 different cryptocurrencies available,
Wow.
so it's easy to get scammed. So
Yeah.
I give the advice there, what are the reputable exchanges to do. One I would tell you to look for is called Robinhood. This is called, already been around as stocks. This was a stock exchange, Robinhood, and they allowed people to sell and buy stocks with no fees. They now, starting February 14th, they're going to allow people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. So this is a reputable company that's already been out there, and now they're just moving into the cryptocurrency, digital currency sector.
Wow. This, before you came on, I'm thinking, I think I have a pretty good handle on this space, and, for the average, again, person in tech that does not specialize in this branch of it, I'm like, I think I get it. I don't. And that's why I'm so thankful that you do, and that you are not only doing it personally and professionally, but you're sharing what you know with the world
Yes.
through your YouTube channel. Again, that is athomecrypto.com, youtube.com/athomecrypto. Follow Allan on Twitter @athomecrypto. Allan, again, there's a lot we can talk about, and I hope you'll come back.
Absolutely.
But, just in closing, what would you like to leave our audience with?
In the future, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to come back with a 14 card system that I can't wait. I'm working on that. So think of a future system. It's amazing that it's even bigger than this. So imagine it's 14 cards. But what I want people to know right now is, if you're worried that it's too late to get into the cryptocurrency and digital currency market,
I am worried.
you're not.
Good.
Don't be worried, because it's
Good.
only 1% of the actual population really even knows about this, and even less know enough about it to where they've been in the room with these kind of equipment.
Oh my
Now is the
gosh.
time to still buy into it. And my own prediction, again, I'm not an investor, but I believe in the technologies, I believe in these. Bitcoin by the end of this year is going to be about $60,000. Last year it ended December of 2017 at $20,000. The important thing to remember, why do I say that they're going to increase in price? Ethereum, as I was saying, is $6,000 by the end of this year. Bitcoin will be about $50,000 to $60,000 by the end of this year. 5 years from now, it's going to quadruple that. And by 10 years, one Bitcoin will be $1 million, and one Ethereum is going to be about $250,000. The reason I say that is because there is a finite amount of these. There will
Yes.
only ever be 21 million Bitcoin.
Right.
There will only ever be 45 million Bitcoin. Each of these can be broken down to a billionth level. So what I feel is going to happen is that in the future, people like myself and others that have been in this for long enough, we're actually going to get to the point where we're going to be giving this away, because it's going to be the market and the way people have to buy things. So for us, it's such a long-term hold, but we're going to end up giving it all away to people to help them make their lives better and buy their own stuff using this. But we've been in it so long that it won't even matter to us that it's worth that much, because you can give a billionth away. So we can give a millionth of Bitcoin away to a person so they can help their family in the future.
Wow. Allan, this is probably the most mind-blowing episode of Connect we've ever done. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for putting a conscience to something that doesn't inherently have one.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to follow your journey and share your story and what you're doing with the world. So thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.